Hello, I'm Sage Wilson, part of the team here at VR Workforce Studio, inviting you to join us for the National Clearinghouse Report, featuring all the latest news, updates and information in VR, with Rick Sizemore and Heather Servais.
Welcome to the VR Workforce Studio. It is time for the always entertaining and informative Heather Servais from our National Clearinghouse. Welcome, Heather.
Hey, Rick, great to be with you.
Yeah. Well, you know, our library is filled with stories of young people who have gone through vocational rehabilitation, finding themselves in an unpaid work experience that leads to employment. What do you have for us in the Clearinghouse today?
You just mentioned that your library is full of resources, and I'd like to just throw out there that NCRTM also has a library full of resources.
Amazing library, I might add.
Over 3,800 different resources available, some about paid and unpaid work experiences, but just overall a wide variety of materials. So I'm going to give you 3 different materials that are in our library today that I think you will enjoy. So the first is a new video that we put out, the NCRTM. It's called Accurate versus Poor Captioning. And what this video does,
Great.
yes, it shows just how big the gap can be when captions that can be helpful or when they can hinder. And so most of the time we see that folks think that auto-generated captions just are good enough at first glance. But when you take a look at this video, you'll see with these side-by-side accurate captions, the difference, just how much it can make to the user when the captions are correct. So when you're viewing this video and you can see whether there's a noisy environment or a quiet library, or whether you're just making sure your content's accessible to deaf and hard of hearing community, these accurate captions are going to make sure that your message is clear and very easy to understand. So check that out if you're interested in learning more about that and seeing how poor captioning can really impact user
I will
experience.
definitely check this one out because captioning is such an essential part of the communication process, particularly for people with disabilities and others as well. So that's going to be a keeper.
Absolutely. The second resource I have is our new curated list. You know, we put these out almost on a
Love 'em.
quarterly basis. Yes. And this curated list that we have is all resources that are coming out of those Disability Innovation Fund grants. And so on this list, you'll find toolkits, different training videos, success stories, and guides. All of these materials are designed to improve education or transition services and employment outcomes for individuals with disabilities. So this is a great opportunity to look at how the innovation is taking shape across the country through these grant-funded tools. And most of these can be put to use right away, whether you're a VR counselor or if you're an individual with a disability that's interested in looking at these services in your area. It's great. And if you're new to our NCRTM curated list, we have a quite a few of them. And so if you're new to them, we actually have a video tutorial that shows you how to learn how to navigate through those lists and how to use them so that they don't have to be scary, because most of these lists that we produce have a lot of materials that are divided by audience type. So whether you're from the general public or you're an individual with a disability or a VR counselor or a business, there's resources on there that are going to be specifically for you. So take a look at the video to learn how to guide those lists, and definitely check out the new Disability Innovation Fund curated list so you can really take a look at some of the really cool innovation that's happening across the nation
Will
right
do,
now.
for sure.
And then the last product I have for you is success stories. Everybody loves a success story.
Everybody
So,
loves the success
yes.
story.
So as you know, RSA has launched their success stories webpage, and this webpage has success stories that are going to be featured from all 56 US states and territories. So these are real life accounts that are showing the impact of RSA and the vocational rehabilitation programs all across the nation and in the territories. So even if you check it once, you should keep coming back because the stories are going to be added regularly. So if you're an individual with a disability that's looking at career possibilities, or families looking to better understand VR, or even VR counselors who you're looking for real world examples and maybe a different way to approach your work, these are great ways to take a look at some of the services and the successes that are coming out of the VR program across the country.
Yeah. Check that. We'll have in the show notes
Yes.
the links for that CVR Facebook page where all these are being posted are also on LinkedIn and Instagram. Follow those and put them in your feed because there's some great stories. Very excited to have submitted some stories of individuals who have been on this podcast. One of them, Malik Thornton, you heard his episode last month, episode 132. VR and the band director paired him up with Steve Wooderson. And we just got word that he's going to be featured in a national magazine. More to come on that next month. And all of these stories are so exciting. And we thank you for all that you're doing. One last plug for the Clearinghouse. You started talking about your library. Save the NCRTM in your favorites. Rehabilitation counselors that listen to this podcast say to me all the time, it's right there on my desktop. I go to it all the time. It's a great resource. So, Heather, thank you and the team at the NCRTM for the great work you're doing. And I look forward to checking out that video on captioning.
Thank you.
Heather Servais directs the National Clearinghouse for Rehabilitation Training Materials. She joins us for the Clearinghouse Report on every episode. Visit vrworkforcestudio.com for the extended audio podcast, along with success stories of people with disabilities who have entered the workforce through vocational rehabilitation. You can learn more about the NCRTM at ncrtm.ed.gov. On behalf of Rick Sizemore, Betsy Civilette, and the team at VR Workforce Studio, I'm Sage Wilson inviting you to join us as we podcast the sparks that ignite VR.